Hello. Namaste, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Cricket for Us. And today we're going to watch the day five, a day that I didn't think we were going to get, but day five from the second test between Pakistan and Australia. And we're going to cover the first session. At least that's the aim, to cover the first session and then see where it goes from there. I'm just watching some of the highlights from last night, yesterday afternoon. And Babar Azam and Abdullah Shafiq look pretty damn solid, and that's exactly what Pakistan needed, and that's exactly what Pakistan needs now moving forward on day five. The partnership is again the highest third wicket partnership for Pakistan at Karachi Stadium, so it's a great achievement from a Pakistani perspective. So super stoked, super excited about where the match is going to go. There's a poll on the left hand side for everyone in the chat. Also, thank you everyone who's joined us. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. But on the left hand side, we have a live chat counter and conversation. So would love to have that conversation going with everyone. And there is a poll in there, so please do vote and give us your thoughts about what you think the result will be, why you think the result will be, whatever it will be. And that's at least that's the plan. The current situation stands at Pakistan needs 506 runs in total to win the match. Obviously, right now I believe they are, Pakistan are 192 for two, so they need around 314 runs of about 90 overs, which means approximately a run rate of 3.5 per over. If Pakistan wants to go for the win, we'll see from the way Pakistan plays in this first session what their mindset is. Um, it might change after lunch, but it depends how solid Pakistan feel after the first session. Even if Pakistan doesn't get 100, 110 runs, even at that point, Pakistan is going to look at, okay, even if we get 60, maybe 70 runs of the first session, we can still look to potentially change our approach after the fact, after the end of the first session, because 200 and 200 odd, 230 runs in two sessions, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. We've seen teams do it against this Australian side, but those teams are India, who were, even though they were a C team from an Indian perspective, they just did some things that you're it's inhumane to do. Okay, that, let's be honest, right? There's a couple of comments in the chat, and I've already replied to Abdullah, but I'm going to talk about his comment already. Lucky me, I won't be able to watch the first two sessions of today's match, so comments cannot ruin my morning for a second consecutive day. Have a great day, everyone, except comments. Thanks, Abdullah, much appreciated. WW podcast Jack in the chat. Hey, Asjad, should be an exciting day. Can Pakistan do it? They nearly chased down 419, 2016, 17. But you had Misbah Haq, right? Pakistan had Misbah Haq. I don't think Pakistan had Yunus Khan, but Pakistan had Misbah Haq at that time, if I'm not wrong. And he was amazing in that particular match. Not going to be easy, but let's hope we have a good day's Test cricket. That's all we can hope for, my friend. That's all we can hope for. Let's invest, says Pakistan. We're watching Pant at the Gaba overnight to prepare for today. Oh man, that's pretty funny. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout. That's exactly what Pakistan probably needs to do. Just get into that mindset. And I don't know if Babar or Abdullah, they have the ability to hit boundaries. They have the ability to be aggressive, but I don't know if they will be the ones to counteract or come up with the goods, if you know what I mean, from a Pakistani perspective. If we're talking about aggressive attacking batting, it would have to be someone like Rizwan or someone like Fahim Ashraf, if God forbid it comes to it, right? Because as a Pakistani fan, all I want, not for Christmas, but all I want right now is Pakistan to not lose this match. Like that tells you how much of a negative mindset I'm in right now. But as long as Pakistan can play this way, I'm content, man. I'm content. Also, in terms of the match situation, match scenario, you can see it on screen, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Australia, 556 for 9, declared in the first innings. Fantastic knock by Khwaja. Brilliant innings by not Labushin, sorry, by, what's his name? Steve Smith and Alex Carey, especially. Alex Carey, what a gem of a batsman. Thankfully, from a Pakistani perspective, didn't get 100, but he batted really superbly. Then from the bowling from the first innings of Pakistan's batting. Right, they were bowled out for 148 due to some good bowling from Australia. They reversed the ball, no doubt about that. But the big issue for me was that there were two runouts, two good deliveries to get wickets, and the rest of the six wickets were a lot to do with batsman error. Yes, there were decent deliveries, but batsman error was a huge part of it rather than being bowled out. They got themselves out, right? That was the big issue for me. Reckless, absolutely reckless. And then in the second innings for Australia, they came out with a plan. Yes, of course, they only made 97 runs, only played like 30 overs or 20 odd overs, right? But they didn't need to do much. They just needed to come out, bat for a bit, get the lead past 500, declare, and see if Pakistan can survive 2 days. And me, as a Pakistan fan, that's what I'm hoping for right now. We don't know if it's going to happen, but that's exactly what I'm hoping for right now. And that's why I'm here. Like, I wasn't planning on doing this if Pakistan weren't in an okay position last night. So yeah, very much an optimist right here, right? Very much of an optimist. So yeah, guys, thank you everyone who's joined us. Please do like the video if you like the content. Again, what happens is if you like the video, it sends it to more people join. We have better conversations in the chat. Instead of me just talking at you, we can have an actual discussion or a conversation through the chat feature on this side of your screen if you're watching on TV, not TV, on your laptops or computers or iPads. But if you want to watch on your mobile, then it'll be in the yeah, it'll be below the video. The chat counter keeps going on, and you can have discussions in there with myself and everyone else who's joined us. So yeah, I really appreciate everyone joining. We're about 5 minutes away from day five's play to begin. I think I've got some adverts on after the fact. We're gonna get the game started. Babar Azam Abdullah Shafiq. Babar Azam gets his first 100 in over 700 days in Test cricket, specifically in Test cricket. So it was a great achievement from him. Great comeback to Test cricket, for lack of a better term. He hasn't had a really bad time in Test cricket. It's just that he hasn't scored 100, right? And he was averaging in the mid 30s. For a guy of his quality, averaging in the mid 30s in Test cricket isn't exactly what he would have wanted. And a lot of the fans in the Pakistan side wouldn't have wanted, especially because he's now the captain. So this is a good step in the right direction. The issue with Babar Azam is whenever there is an elongated break, he usually comes out and gets out quite quickly. So that's what I'm hoping that doesn't happen today. He comes out, stays composed. Yes, it's the new ball. Yes, the ball is only 2 overs old. And the biggest thing is it's swinging. It is swinging. We saw it swing later yesterday afternoon in the last couple of overs. We saw Pat Cummins bowl a beautiful in swinging Yorker to Babar Azam, which got him really close to being bowled, but well dug out by Babar. But overall, as we speak, Babar Azam is on 101, striking at just over 50, while Abdullah Shafiq is showing his grit. Sorry, 102. Sorry, and Abdullah Shafiq showing his grit at the same time. He's on 71 of 226 deliveries. He's hit a six. He's hit a couple of four fours, but at the same time, he's taken his time, and that is something I'm personally okay with. We've just got the match summary in front of us. So, like I said before, 192 for two Pakistan. Babar Azam, Abdullah Shafiq looking good. I'm scared about the Aussies' paces as well as their spinners. Um, but we saw yesterday they're going to try out the paces for a couple of overs. If it doesn't work, they're going to go back to the spin. However, when they go back to spin, they're going to come back to pace as well in about 15, 20 overs time when the ball gets a bit roughed up and they can try and reverse swing the ball, which is something we've seen Stark do. We've seen even Cameron Green do, not just in this match, even in the previous game. Cameron Green was getting the ball to reverse. So something Australia would be very chuffed about, to be honest. Abdullah is back in the chat. Like I said, if Pakistan reach lunch with 8 wickets in hand and 200 runs left, they should go for the win because Aussies will be panicking. Do you know what? If Pakistan can score over 100 runs in the first session, I like I said yesterday, if Pakistan get to that point, they could go for it. I don't think they will, but if Pakistan play more positively and get 112, 114 runs in this first session, it is definitely a possibility. So Abdullah, I hope so. I really, really hope your words are true, man, because it's a scary, scary situation as a Pakistani fan right now. Because I expected a lot from this Pakistan side. We all know this. I mentioned it multiple occasions. I was expecting Pakistan to do some great things in this particular match. Um, After the slowness of the Rawalpindi pitch, I was like, no, no, Pakistan is not completely going defensive. That maybe they'll do something else on this track. But they only had one plan, which was you bat first and score runs. But when Australia won the toss, they batted first. This the top 550, right? 550 plus, which is not exactly what Pakistan wanted. Also, I want to talk about Karachi, man. I want to talk about the Karachi Stadium, National Stadium, Karachi. Um, I don't think there's an issue with the National Stadium, Karachi. A lot of people are criticizing the crowd. Like, I've heard it's really difficult to get in. I've heard the management of this particular stadium isn't the greatest, right? So I understand why people aren't in the crowd. Okay, and even if it's what like a third or like a quarter filled up, still sounds really good because of the roof and the noise bounces up and down. But yeah, I hope more people turn up. Like it's pretty much empty, and they're playing in Karachi. Like that's annoying at the same time, right? Fazan Khan says, "Hey Asjad, I'm afraid to watch today. Probably was the first 4 or 5 overs, and uh, and then sleep and wake up to a good or bad or a very good surprise." Do you know what, Fazan Khan? That's exactly what I was planning on doing after what happened yesterday. But then Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, God made me wake up. I tell you, right? First ball of the day from Mitchell Stark, about a foot outside off when well left by us, not us, Shafiq, Abdullah Shafiq. But no, I completely understand where you're coming from because that's how I would have felt if I didn't have to do this or if I wasn't thinking, oh, I should, you know, do something like this in terms of the. In terms of my channel and stuff, but no, I appreciate that. Completely get it. Completely understand. I mean, I expect great things from this team, but they still need time. It's a young team, both in terms of age and experience. In terms of experience, I completely agree. The number one, they don't play much Test cricket. Number two, they don't play against good quality Test teams on a regular basis anywhere, not even away from home, at home, whatever it is. So yeah, definitely not the best in terms of experience or with the vast experience that teams like Australia, England, India have. Well, England's a funny one, so I don't even want to talk about England. But India, Australia, maybe even New Zealand, um, a bit of South Africa as well. So yeah, um, the pitch has a lot of cracks, no doubt about that. There aren't like huge cracks. There's a couple of huge cracks, but that's just on the line of the wicket. So maybe the spinners, especially Nathan Lyon, he can potentially use that, especially if he's coming around the wicket to one of the right handers. The ball's going to turn in very very sharply. So not a bad shout. Fazan Khan says, for a minute you said Asid Shafiq. How good would he be right now? I love to watch him bat too. Thing is, Pakistan developed him to an extent, and then when Misbound Yunus went, a lot of pressure was put on Azhar and Asid Shafiq. But unfortunately, Asid Shafiq, he's not a number 4 or 5. He's a number 6, right? And his position in the side should have been he stays number 6, or if he had improved, he'd move up, right? But number 6 was ideal for him. But unfortunately, Pakistan messed him out a bit too much. And even though before he was kicked out of the squad, he was averaging in the mid 30s to the late 30s. But that's not what you want from someone who's played like 80 test matches or something. That's why he was initially dropped. But yeah, Asad Shafiq would have been really good on this track. He was. I couldn't believe he was in his almost mid 30s when Pakistan let him go. Him and Azhar Ali are around the same age. I was shocked beyond belief. But yeah, Asad Shafiq, I was a huge fan. Really liked to see him bat. I thought something that he brought to the side was a bit of composure. But thankfully, in a way, in a sort of way, it's a blessing in disguise because otherwise, Fawad Alam probably wouldn't have got a chance to play for Pakistan, I think. And Pakistan maybe wouldn't have counted on Mohammad Rizwan's batting as much. And Rizwan's improvement over the past year and a half, 2 years has been really, really good for Pakistan. Let's hope he can, if he gets a chance to bat, he is able to perform well with the bat and maybe do some Pantonian things, but not in the worst way, but in the best way, aka Gaba, aka Bengaluru, aka literally like half 35% of his test innings, maybe Rishabh Pant can be embodied within Mohammad Rizwan if Mohammad Rizwan has to come out to bat. But yeah, everyone joining, thank you so much for joining. Once again, please, if you do like the content, do like and subscribe. Really helps the channel. If you don't want to subscribe, just like the video. It sends it to more people. We get more interesting chats going. But yeah, thank you, Fazan Khan. That's a very valid point there. Appreciate it. Mitchell Stark to Abdullah Shafiq again. Well left. He's bowling outside off stump. He's bowling not exactly in the channel, but he's bowling wide enough so Abdullah can leave it. But he's getting closer. He's inching closer because there is a bit of movement into the right hander at this stage. Da, da, da. Ooh, not good. There is an error on my screen for some reason. I'll look at it shortly. It's 193 for 2. And last ball of the over coming up. Stark to Abdullah Shafiq. Back of a length. Well defended. Straight back to the bowler. 83 overs gone. Pakistan 193 for 2. Again, we can't judge the approach Pakistan is going with right now. But over the course of the next hour, hour and a half, we'll get a bit more of an understanding of where and what Pakistan is specifically trying to do. Okay. But yeah, super stoked about where this match could go. And I wish and I hope and I pray from a Pakistani perspective they can pull off a miracle. But even if they can't pull off a miracle, I hope they can do something to help get us all riled up for the third test because showing fight right now is great. Pakistan draws the match. I'll be super happy. But and it could be seen as a victory after having a terrible first innings with the bat. But at the same time, teams like India, teams like South Africa to an extent, I guess, if they had 8 wickets down, and yes, even if they were chasing 300 runs on day 5, they probably would have gone for it. But with Pakistan, I'm still a bit apprehensive, right? Thank you everyone who's joined us. Please do like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff really helps the channel. Please like the video. Thank you so much, everyone. We're going to do watch alongs and commentary for most of this test series, as we have done, or live discussion and stuff. So yeah, please do like and subscribe. Really helps the channel. Thank you so much, everyone. Pat Cummins to Babar Azam. Babar Azam defends it straight back to mid on, and another dot ball to boot. We've got Fazan Khan in the chat still. Thanks, man. Thank you for staying for so long, by the way. I know how you're feeling about Pakistan, and I'm feeling exactly the same way. I'm more worried about Babar in the first hour than Abdullah Shafiq, given Babar's history with starting to bat after breaks. Oh, man. Babar's batting after breaks is absolutely astonishing. It's shocking to see, isn't it? Thank you so much, everyone who's joined us in the chat. Really appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. While Babar Azam plays a beautiful drive straight to mid-off for another dot delivery, for another dot ball. Fazan Khan says, "Our oh yeah, I know you meant our. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." So I think Pakistan are going to try and play these dot balls. This is exactly what Pakistan needs to do at this stage. In the first hour, agreed. Babar Azam has had a history of losing his wicket, especially after a break, of a long break, especially. So yeah, let's hope Pakistan can survive this hour, not lose a wicket, then survive lunch, and try and build up this entire innings hour to hour or half hour to half hour and have plans in place rather than having like, oh, an overarching plan only. They need to have a plan B, unlike the plan B they had at the start of day 1. All right. Uh, Dude, you have 3K watching. Fazan Khan, I'm kind of bamboozled right now as well. Don't worry about it. But thank you everyone who's watched it, who's watching. Please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Really helps the channel. Please do comment in the chat below or on the left hand side or right hand side for yourself on screen, and we can have some really engaging discussions for sure, especially about this particular match, but the way Pakistan's approaching this game. Please do vote who you think is going to win the match. Really appreciate that. And what the result is going to be. Babar Azam takes a single to point. Pakistan moves on to 194 for 2. 2 balls remaining off the over. Oh, man, they're just showing the drop. Oh, man, they're showing the drop of Steve Smith from yesterday. It was an outside edge, Babar Azam. Steve Smith went one-handed, but it hit his wrist, and then it flew past Alex Carey as well. It was a difficult chance, but something you expect the Aussie slips to actually take rather than drop, if you know what I mean. Pat Cummins once again to Abdullah Shafiq on his pads. He defends it to mid wicket for a dot. But yeah, thank you, Fazan. Thank you, everyone who's joined us. Please, if you do like the content, really appreciate it. Please do like and subscribe. Really helps the channel. There's another drop as well. Okay, so oh, definitely Australia gave Pakistan a lot of chances, and Steve Smith is 100% practicing prior to the start of day 5 because of this. Yeah, there were 3 chances given yesterday. I only knew about the one, about the 2, but 3 chances, all of them were Steve Smith. So Steve Smith definitely wants to make amends for that. Once again, Pat Cummins straight on the paths of Abdullah Shafiq. Abdullah Shafiq defends it straight down the ground to the fielder. 84 overs gone. Pakistan 194 for 2. And yeah, we're just having a break here. But yeah, this has been a really interesting couple of overs because we can see from the get go that Pakistan are trying to be pragmatic here. Okay. You don't need to go for the win right now. Okay. Just see where off the new ball, work out what a potential good total is on this track every half hour, every hour, what Pakistan needs to do, and then go from there because I'm super excited about the way Pakistan could play this match. Again, not hoping for a win, just hoping for a draw right now. But if it comes to it, then I will be jumping in my seat because I'll be at work and I wouldn't be able to stream. But I would be listening or I would be watching the game in the background in some sort of way. Stark to continue. Babar Azam strike. It's a good length delivery, just moving away from Babar Azam. He defends it to point and takes a quick single. Babar Azam moves on to 104 of 202, while Abdullah Shafiq is still on 71 of 200 odd deliveries. The broadcasters, yeah, a lot of broadcasters all over the world. You got PT Sports, Daraz, Fox Sports, Sky Sports, Willow Sports, Willow Cricket, sorry, Sky Sports New Zealand, Etisalat, Sony Super Sport, Flow Sports, ICC TV. There is, I don't know if it's being watched in India or not, but if it is, then that's cool. But it doesn't. South Asia, right? Sony, there we go. South Asia outside Pakistan. So I get what they mean. That Mitchell Stark to continue. Abdullah Shafiq on strike. Abdullah Shafiq leaves that delivery because it was about, once again, about 9 to 10 inches outside of stump. And Abdullah's like, yeah, I'm not trying to play this with a 10-foot pole. There's no need for me to try and play this delivery, right? It's absolute madness. It's absolute madness trying to play for the drive, especially with the new ball, especially with Stark bowling to you, right? Mr. All the other Pakistani batsmen in the first innings, including these guys, to be honest, but they've genuinely got a plan. At least it seems like they've got a plan to keep going, keep progressing forward, and not be hurt by a slow run rate. Just bat the way you feel natural. Stark to Abdullah Shafiq on the pads. He plays it straight to mid wicket for another dot. And I'm okay with dot deliveries right now. This is perfectly fine. Thank you, everyone who's joined us. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you do like the content, we do live watch alongs, we do live commentary, we do analysis, pre match, post match. We do all kinds of that stuff. We do have a video that will be out shortly on our channel to discuss the test series as well between India and Sri Lanka. So please do check that out if you get a chance. But thank you, really appreciate that. There's 3,000 people in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone who's joined us. Much, much appreciated. If you do like the content, do give me a comment as well. We can have some interesting chats about cricket or about life in general if you do want. But so far, cricket, I'm pretty okay with talking about as Pakistan and Abdullah Shafiq duck past a bouncer from Mitchell Stark. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Highest successful run chases in tests at National Stadium, Karachi. Pakistan versus Australia in 1994. 315 for 9, Pakistan. That was a stellar match. I know about it because I was only 2 years old, but I know about that match. And yeah, Pakistan had a lot of their middle order chipping in that particular match. So very, very much that type of game today as well. That if Pakistan wants to go for the win, then they need to figure out a way to score runs and not be put under pressure by the Australian bowlers, as we can see them doing as we speak, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's 195 for 2. Last ball of the 85th over coming up. And yeah, guys, do let me know if you have any thoughts about this particular match. Really, really excited about where things are going, where the things are heading, and can't believe we're gonna have day five, because I didn't expect a day five until yesterday. I didn't. I thought Pakistan was going to get bowled out the way Australia was bowling in the previous innings. So yeah, definitely a good step in the right direction on day four. And so far, 3 overs gone. Pakistan scored 3 runs, 2 to 3 runs all day today. So I'm okay with that. I'm personally okay with that. There's over 1,000 people in the chat. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. We do this on a regular basis, especially with Pakistan matches, Australia matches, India matches, England cricket matches. We do live commentaries. So please do join us for those in the future. Like, subscribe, all that great stuff. Really, really helps the channel and really helps me do this on a regular basis rather than me just, doing this not as regularly. But this particular match, because it's been quite an interesting one, I've been doing post day analysis in a live session. So please do join me for that if I am able to do that later on today. Most probably I will during lunch. At the end, not lunch, during the last about 20-30 minutes of the match, if it gets to that point. Inshallah, hopefully it does get to that point. That's the hope, at least. So yeah, 195 for two. Pat Cummins to Babar Azam. Babar Azam defends it, and they can tell. Like, Babar Azam's already signaled to Abdullah Shafiq a couple of times. The ball is swinging. The ball is swinging. There's no doubt about that. But what Pakistan needs to do is negate that swing. Do not go way outside off stump, Babar or Abdullah, any of you guys, right? Just bat out the session, man. Just bat out the session. Pat Cummins to Babar Azam. It's full. It's on leg stump. Babar Azam flicks it off his pads, and that's 2 runs. Well done there. Good running by Abdullah Shafiq, especially. Uh, he was very quick back into the non-strikers end, and Babar Azam returns, gets 2 runs added to his total and to Pakistan's. Abdullah Shafiq um, looks fit. He's young. He's like 20, 21 years old, and he's running fairly well so far this morning. Yeah, like I said, Babar Azam 106 of 204 at the moment. Pat Cummins, the captain of Australia, will be looking at the fact that the ball isn't swinging. It's not doing much right now. So maybe in about 5 to 6 overs or 4 to 5 overs, maybe we get a spinner on, try to get the ball a bit scuffed up, and see where things go from there. Back of a length from Pat Cummins. I think Cummins is actually going wobble ball, right? I think he's going wobble seam to Babar Azam, because Babar Azam doesn't look very completely confident defending it. He does look like he's squaring up just a smidge, and that's a little worrying from a Pakistani fan, but from a neutral fan, I think we can definitely see that Australia is not going out without a fight, right? Same with Pakistan. They're both showing fight and trying to go for a result from an Australian perspective, and Pakistan trying to go for the draw so far. Pat Cummins to Babar Azam. This was short, a little wide as well. Babar Azam thought it was a lot. It was going to bounce a lot more than than it did. It was going to try and cut that through point, but it didn't bounce much. So he just played it to the sweeper on the offside for a single. 198 for two. Pakistan. Babar Azam moves on to 107. Definitely could have considered 2 runs, but look at that. Look at the planning there, right? The throw comes in on the bounce, and look at how much rough there is on the pitch already. So it just bounces up, and yeah, crazy times from a cricket game perspective. Pat Cummins to Abdullah Shafiq. Abdullah Shafiq plays it to the mid-wicket fielder once again for a dot ball. And I'm happy with Abdullah Shafiq just taking his time as well, because Pakistan can probably just think about the draw. If they have to think about anything, think about the draw right now. And a lot of people might disagree with this, but again, like I mentioned, I'm okay with the draw. Abhishek says, you have a professional touch in your commentary. Well done. But thank you, Abhishek. That's very kind of you to say. Much appreciated, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining, by the way. If you like the content, do like the video. Really appreciate that. Pat Cummins running in once again to Abdullah Shafiq, last ball of the over. And Abdullah Shafiq solid in defense, as expected. Nice to see that. Rom says, wah, or wah. Well, appreciate it. Thank you very much. American accent. It's a twist. I actually live in England, but I watch a lot of American TV, so my accent is a mixture of English and American and Pakistani accent. So, but yeah, thank you very much. Yes. Yes. And hi. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. If you like the content, like I mentioned to Abhishek and everyone who did join us for a brief while where the viewer count went really high, please like the video, subscribe if you like the content, and do return for the India Sri Lanka Test Series review that will be releasing in about an hour and a half. So do check that out. I'll leave the link in the chat when it releases. But yeah, thank you so much everyone who's joined us. You watch Indian cricket? Yes, I do. Yes, I do watch Indian cricket, Rom, and follow it quite well, follow it in much detail, but Pakistan cricket obviously the most detail. But Indian cricket is the second best team in terms of my knowledge of where things are going, and the way they dismantled and destroyed Sri Lanka was expected, but it was good. It was good fun from a series perspective. Mitchell Stark running into Babar Azam. Babar Azam, what are you doing, man? Sorry, what are you doing? Right? It was short, it was wide, and Babur's like, yeah, I'm going to try and go for the cut. This is exactly how Babur gets out when he comes back from a break. Scrambled seam from Mitchell Stark and Babur trying to go for a cut, and thankfully it bounced over his bat because that was pretty close to the edge. Um, where is it? Rom says, I'm from Lucknow. Oh, nice. Thank you so much for joining from Lucknow. Um, I've heard great things. I've heard about the food. I've heard about the people as well. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Um, Abdulaziz says hi, good commentary. Thank you, Abdulaziz. Much appreciated, man. Um, like I said, I'm gonna stop saying like the video, but if you can, really helps the channel. And love the fact that you're commenting and joining the chat. So really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Abdulaziz. Pakistan 198 for two right now in the 87th over. Babar Azam again. I don't think he's getting itchy. He's just that type of player who wants to try and find a way to score runs. Yes, his strike rate isn't always the greatest, but he does want to take his time. But he just whenever the ball's slightly outside off, he's like, yeah, I'm going to try and play it. Or if it's on his pass, he's like, yeah, I'm going to try and smash him before. Just needs to calm down a bit. Stark to Babar Azam again. Again, Babar Azam being induced into the drive. Yes, he stopped himself, but Mitchell Stark is getting Babar Azam a little bamboozled here, all right? Confusing him, forcing him to potentially play more aggressively. All right, again, Babar Azam drawn into that drive. Yes, it was about a couple of inches outside his outside the edge of his bat. But come on, man, Babar, I expect a lot more from you. Expect a lot more. Relevant brother says, I reckon Pakistan should look to push the scoring after the first hour. If only 2 wickets down, that will get the field more defensive. I agree, and that's what I'm saying. Half an hour. That's what Pakistan needs to plan, not this. That you're going to try and be aggressive in the first hour. There's no need. It's going to be very difficult to be aggressive against this new ball, especially if Stark is bowling freaking 144 Ks on a regular basis, right? He's bowling 90 plus miles an hour on a regular basis. So don't go for that. Hardik Kumar Prajapati says, "I'm the अहमदाबाद से हूं मैं भाई कुछ काम हो तो बताओ." Of course. Hello from Ahmedabad. Well, hello from England to you from Ahmedabad. But yeah, thank you for joining. Really appreciate it, man. Um, Rom says Pakistan should aim for a draw and play like Dravid and Faf du Plessis block. Okay, yeah, exactly. So I was talking about this yesterday. The way Duplessis and ABD played a few years ago, the way Dravid and Lakshman played almost 20 years ago or over 20 years ago, that's exactly what Pakistan needs to do, right? And the players that I expected this from Pakistan were Azhar Ali and Fawad Alam and maybe Imam Al Haq. Imam Al Haq gone, Azhar Ali gone, Fawad Alam is the only one left, right? Babar Azam has shown composure. Abdullah Shafiq has shown a solid temperament as well. So these guys can do it. They need to block, go for the draw, in my opinion, as well. But we'll have to see what happens after the first hour. What if Australia does go a bit defensive? But yeah, counter attacking you don't do in the first over of the first session of the day, especially if the ball is pretty damn new. So yeah, good call there, Rom. Completely agree with you there. Muhammad bin Rashid says, "Bhai, how much cricket have you played yourself, brother?" I've played in England. I've played around 10, 11 years. 10, 11 years. But again, it wasn't first class cricket or anything. It's up to first team club cricket in what it's called in the UK until a few years ago when I stopped playing, and I got into cricket once again through my channel, and I'm trying to get back into playing again. And I've got a couple of offers from a couple of clubs in the area, but I'm waiting to improve a bit more before I try and start playing officially. But yeah, I've got about 10 years of playing, but of watching and analyzing, pretty much 30 years, if not 30 years, at least 25 years of cricket analysis and learning the game and doing all that stuff. But yeah, thank you for that question. No one's actually asked me that in a very long time. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Pat Cummins to Abdullah Shafiq. Abdullah Shafiq gets his first run of the day, gets just blocks that. Oh, overthrows. Come on, come for another run. Right, overthrows. And Abdullah Shafiq is probably going to be back on strike. Probably back on strike. Nope, they've gotten three. They've taken 3 runs there. That is good running. Like I said, that is good running from Abdullah Shafiq and Babar Azam. And the 200 for Pakistan comes up. Who is the fielder there? Can't tell. It was a right. Yeah, yes, it was a direct hit, but it went. It almost went to the boundary. Usman Khwaja had to run and try and get that ball from the long on boundary, right? But yeah, not the best idea. Didn't need to. Genuinely didn't need to do that. Was it Lion? Who was it? I don't know. I didn't see the name, but whoever it was something that wasn't needed. Doesn't really matter. Plus, I think it was Warner. Yeah, it was David Warner, wasn't it? I didn't even know he could throw with his right hand, to be honest. Um, but yeah, this is Australia's completely okay with giving a few runs here and there. At least that's the approach I can see because they are looking to get the ball scuffed up so they can reverse the ball and spin the ball as much as possible over the course of this particular day. That's another quick single by by Babar Azam, sorry, and Babar Azam moves on to 108, while Abdullah Shafiq is on 74, not out. Both of them batting in a composed way. 10 runs of the day so far, and I'm happy with Pakistan going all the way and looking for a draw potentially. Okay. Um, Mohammed bin Rashid also says, I have a place open on my team that is going to play in Barbados starting 23rd, 27th. You're welcome to join us. That's very kind of you to offer. I appreciate that. Do hit me up if you want on Instagram at All Cricket for Us. That's amazing. Thank you so much for planning that. Are you based in the UK? I don't know if you are. But yeah, do hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, and we can get a conversation going on the 23rd. I'm available on the 23rd to the 27th. So let me know. Let me know, of course. Hardik says, brother, what do you think about Pakistan creating history? What should be the strategy from Pakistan? Right. My personal opinion is that Pakistan's strategy at this very moment should be you survive the first hour. Do not lose any wickets. Doesn't matter about the runs. After the first hour, you look at where you are, how confident you are, how much you can probably be comfortable at this particular pitch after an hours of play this morning, and then see how Bawar and Abdullah Shafiq can handle being a bit more proactive, a bit more positive minded, and then try and get a few more runs, not just singles and doubles, which do really help, but a few boundaries here and there on multiple occasions, and then see where you are at lunch and then make a call. That's my personal opinion. But right now, Pakistan should be happy to just defend, play out the hour. And even if it looks like they're going for the draw, I'm okay with Pakistan going for the draw right now. It could be history in the making, but it's too optimistic. It's too forward thinking right now. They need to live ball by ball or over by over rather than thinking, oh, we could do this and completely mess up their minds. And I know Pakistani players do get into pressure quite a bit. So that's my take on it, to be honest. Ram said, I started watching cricket from 96 World Cup, the Jayasuriya World Cup, and you, same World Cup. That's going down leg. Don't appeal, Cummins. That's going down leg. Same World Cup. I remember the Pakistan India game. I remember Mushtaq Ahmed from a Pakistani perspective. But yeah, that World Cup was the first World Cup I saw with my eyes, and I got into cricket about a couple of months before that as well. So yeah, nice, Ron. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. Mohammed bin Rashid says 4 from UK, 3 from US, and 1 from Pakistan. It's called Last Man Stands. I play in the USA. Oh, nice. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Do again, like I said, just send me a bit more detail of the fact, and I'll give you. I'll let you know. That's in a week, right? So I'll definitely let you know in terms of availability. I'll reply sometime today. I won't make you wait or anything. I'll just need to check my schedule. If I'm available, 100%. That would be so cool. But if not, I'll send you a message. But I really appreciate that. Hit Wick about Rampus in the chat. Rampus, thank you so much for joining, man. I don't want to call it finally broken. I want to give it an hour. But yeah, Bobber Jinx finally broken. Good to see them playing according to the situation. Just play. Yep. Just play the session by session, then take a chance if they want to accelerate. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was saying. So appreciate that for agreeing with me, Ramis, because I know you are such much like you're a huge entity in the cricket scape in terms of YouTube. So everyone watching, if you do get a chance, do check out Hit Wicket by Rampus as well. Amazing channel. If you like content in Urdu about Pakistan, about the subcontinent, about cricket in general, really interesting topics picked by Ramis. So do check him out as well if you get a chance. But yeah, I think Australia going in with Swepson. I thought they were going to bring in a spinner. Swepson to Babar Azam. Babar Azam 109 so far. Swepson. It's a loopy full toss on his pads, and Babar Azam smashes it for 4 through mid wicket. Good job, Babar. That's what we need. That's exactly what we need right now. If Mitchell Swepson is going to bowl a terrible delivery, you spank it for 4. Right? It's the first ball of the day for him, and taking full advantage of that, Babar Azam moves on to 113. And right now, again, Ramis, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Bat session by session. I was thinking half an hour, or an hour, and then go from there. Mitchell sweeps into Babar Azam again on the pads. It's a full toss, a lower full toss. That's once again running towards the mid wicket boundary. That's another 4 to Babar Azam. Well played, my friend. Well played. Good shots to not the best deliveries. Rom says, what you think Naseem Shah could be Waqar Yunus of Pakistan? Uh, he's too young, too early to say. He's not as consistent. He's not as fast. He doesn't have as killer Yorkers. He doesn't have a killer bouncer, and he hasn't played enough first class cricket for me to even think about. I know Waqar Yunus didn't play that much first class cricket before he was selected, but he had something else about him. And Naseem Shah, unfortunately, doesn't seem to have that type of aggression in him at the moment. But over the years, he might develop that, and maybe in about 4 or 5 years, let's say, or 3 or 4 years, it depends when. But he could come up into the Pakistan Test scene and the limited overs side and be similar to a Waqar Yunus, or potential for another Waqar Yunus from the Pakistani side. Oh, Babar Azam drawn into defending that one, because I thought that was a googly, and I think so did Babar Azam, but that was actually a leg spinner, which he fell for. So well done, Mitchell Swepson. Well done, Mitchell Swepson. Hit Wicket by Rampa says, what if Fahim comes at 6 and plays a fast cameo? Would you risk bringing in Fahim at number 6 to play a fast cameo? I wouldn't risk that. I wouldn't risk it unless Pakistan was 300 for 3, or if Pakistan were, let's say, 350 for 3. Then yeah, sure, I'd consider Fahim coming in at number 6. But again, maybe it's the defensive mindset. Oh, dude, don't try that, Babar. Don't try that. Okay, this was a flipper. If not a flipper, that was a straighter one. And Babar Azam pads it away. That's probably umpire's call on the off stump, because he didn't try to play a shot. He didn't try and play a shot. Uh, Babar, don't do that to me. Don't do that to Pakistani fans, man. Mitchell Swepson ends his over in a slightly positive way, getting that appeal. Of course, they've not gone up, but yeah, Babar Azam trying to pad him away. This isn't 1990. You can't keep padding stuff away. It's very difficult to pad away, and the bowling side not going for a review, and potentially things happening. So yeah, please, Babar, don't mess with us. Don't mess with us. I'm just gonna take a short water break. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Yeah, that was really, really close, in my opinion. It was probably umpire's call. They're going to show Hawkeye and ball tracking soon. It might be missing, but the first thing I thought of, oh, that's umpire's call. Uh, was it a googly? It went straight on, and okay, it wasn't as it didn't. Yeah, it wasn't that close. It was like this close, but still, Babar Azam, man, that's scary, scary, man. Waqar in his first series against Australia wasn't that quick, but a year later, he He was crazy fast. I'll tell you what, relevant brother. I know where you're coming from, but I remember my dad watching Waqar Yunus in a first class game before he played for Pakistan, and he was absolutely rapid. That this is what he says, and literally within a month or so, he was selected for the Pakistan side based on that particular spell. He took like 5 or 6 wickets. So maybe you're right. But from if my memory and what my dad says and what Imran Khan said, he saw him in that one particular game, and it was like this guy is rapid as anything, right? But even if he wasn't as quick, he was a lot better with his line and length than I've seen Naseem Shah be. But yes, a year later, definitely you would develop, right? And that's what I'm expecting from Naseem Shah. It's not just the aggression and pace, but it's the fact that Naseem Shah will develop as a good bowler over through the years. He just needs to not lose his pace, which is what happens with so many Pakistani bowlers when they try and go line and length. You need to be accurate enough, but also be very quick, and that's what Naseem Shah needs to be before he can become a Waqar Yunus equivalent for Pakistan in the future. Cameron Green, short delivery to Abdullah Shafiq. Abdullah Shafiq plays it past second slip, running towards the third man boundary, but the fielder from deep point runs across, runs round, and two more runs added to Pakistan's score. Abdullah Shafiq moves on to 77. It's 214 for two Pakistan. Rom says Waqar Yunus also studied in the UAE in boarding school. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. UAE boarding school. I've unfortunately haven't studied in the UAE or at a boarding school, but sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. But obviously, uh, he probably perfected his art. I'm assuming in first class cricket for sure. You can see Cameron Green already getting some swing. I don't know if that was reverse or not yet, but he's getting swing into Abdullah Shafiq. Crazy, crazy how Australia found someone like Cameron Green. Um, a lot of talk about him. He's only what 21 as well, but he is a super exciting player. He's one of the guys to watch out for. And there is a video on this channel about Cameron Green. If you guys did want to watch that, it's me and another channel called Quality Shot discussing the potential of what Cameron Green can do in the future for sure. And his pace is up again. It's not 145 or anything, but his pace is not 120s. It's still mid to high 130s on a regular basis. He can bat very well at number 6 for Australia, something that they have been looking for, an all-rounder that Australia's been looking for, pace bowling all-rounder since Keith Miller. Maybe Andrew Simons you could think, right? But I think since Keith Miller, there was maybe one more guy that I can think of who was genuinely a good bowler and a good batsman, a decent hand as well in the field. People can correct me in the chat. I just forget names sometimes, but in terms of pace all rounders, I think I forget anyone for Australia apart from Keith Miller from back in the Bradman era, right? Where is it? Tashin Sarika says Bauer is not losing his wicket and adding runs in the scoreboard. Yeah, I'm glad about that. Very happy to see Babar Azam do something like this from a Pakistani perspective. And school children coming in the crowd. See, that should build some atmosphere, especially if Pakistan wants and Babar Azam and Abdullah Shafiq need some sort of backing, especially in the crowd as well, not just the teammates, the ground staff, or anyone. They need actual spectators in the crowds to build up excitement moving forward. But exactly, Tashin, I agree with you completely there. Um, Murad official said, "Good commentary." Thank you, Murad official. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Very kind of you to say that. And I really hope you're having a great day. I hope everyone's having a great day. And if you do like the content, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and come back for more videos. If not like this, review shows, pre-match, post-match, interviews, but also live commentary sessions like this. I'll try and make sure that I am a little more consistent. I've tried to be a bit more consistent in this second test, but it's not been the greatest, right, for Pakistan this test. But let's see what Pakistan can do over the course of this particular day. Let's see if we can go for the draw at least. Didn't realize Abdullah Shafiq was a taller kid. Didn't realize that till now. Rom says, "What do you think of Gary Sobers? An absolute G man, like absolute genius with the bat, with like he was again not arguably. I think he's revered as the best all rounder that ever was, Sir Garfield Sobers. So yeah, man, absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. My best YouTube channel. Is that your YouTube channel, Murad Official? Okay, I'll if you're saying that to me, I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say. Um, and I feel really flustered when people compliment me. But thank you. If that's what you're saying, thank you so much. Love you, bro. Love you too, man. Thank you so much. Azhar Khan Vlog says, listening to you for the first time from Toronto, Canada. Azhar, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying the content. I hope if you are watching the game, you're enjoying the game and enjoying the composure and solidity so far in the last 40 minutes that Pakistan has shown us as fans. But yeah, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining. Green hits the bat hard and has a height. Shane Watson, there we go. Initially, yeah, Shane Watson, because he got injured very quickly in his career, right? I keep forgetting Shane Watson because to me, Shane Watson just became uh, predominantly a batsman who bowls a bit, especially in his Test career. Yeah, Shane Watson, perfect example. Thank you, relevant brother. Azhar Khan says, "Love your style and good that you played cricket before the commentary." Thank you, Azhar Khan. Really appreciate that, man. Um, Beautiful shot by Abdullah Shafiq, but now they have someone at deep mid wicket to counter the loose ball here and there that Swepson does go for, and Babar Azam moves on to 118. Abdullah Shafiq moves on to 78, and Babar Azam is on 118. But thank you, Azhar Khan. Really appreciate that, man. Pakistan make history, inshallah. Inshallah, I really hope so. I really, really hope so, man. Um, an awesome ground in the UK in the Lake District. Did you visit that? Oh, Babar Azam once again through mid wicket, well fielded by Mitchell Stark, and that's another single to Pakistan's score. Pakistan's score. Which ground in the Lake District? I don't know about the ground in the Lake District. Please let me know more. I have been to the Lake District though, a couple of times, but haven't been to the ground near that. I've been to Headingley, I've been to Edgbaston, Old Trafford, Lords, Taunton, but not one in the Lake District, unfortunately. Murad official says Urdu commentary करें. यार उर्दू कमेंट्री में मसला ये है कि ज्यादातर ऑडियंस को इंग्लिश समझ आती है, तो इसलिए इंग्लिश में करते हैं। ऊपर से कमेंट्री तो इंग्लिश में ज्यादा अच्छी आती है ना मुझे, तो इसलिए मैं इंग्लिश में कर रहा हूँ। बट आई अप्रिशिएट दैट, थैंक यू फॉर दैट कमेंट। मैं कोशिश करूंगा, मेरा प्लान है कि इन द फ्यूचर आई डू ट्राई अ लॉट मोर विद उर्दू कमेंट्री एज वेल, लेकिन आज नहीं यार। ट्राई करूंगा थोड़ी देर के लिए, लेकिन ज्यादा देर के लिए नहीं कर सकता। Alakta Mukhopadhyay says, "Is it going to be a 2001 Eden test?" I hope so. I hope so, Alekta. I really hope so. And thank you so much for joining the live stream. If you do like the content, do like the video and subscribe to the channel for more commentary sessions like this, but also pre-match, post-match reviews, interviews, and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, definitely, man. Um, uh, if Pakistan can pull it off, that would be great. And that's exactly what I'm hoping, right? That's exactly what I'm hoping. Rakesh says where we can see live streaming in India, Sony TV or Sony Sports One, I think it's called. You can watch it on Sony from what the Pakistani broadcasters are telling us. So you can watch it on Sony. You can watch it on, if you want to watch the actual game, you can watch it on Smart Crick as well on your phone. But yeah, those are the few places that I know about. Azhar Khan vlog says, "My son Rayan enjoying your commentary as he is with me now. Thank you for your English commentary. It's easy for me to explain him cricket more." Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Azhar. Really appreciate that. And hello to your son. Hello, Rayan. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy this beautiful game because I have been a fan of this game since I was 4. So yeah, very happy to be able to do this. So yeah, really appreciate that. Um, Usman Khwaja with the ball. Again, you can see the Aussies just roughing up one side as much as possible to be able to get potential reverse swing sooner rather than later. And they know which side they need to shine. That's what they're doing. They've got their plans right. And this is the 10th over of the day, by the way. Cameron Green to continue to Babar Azam, who moves on to 119. Cameron Green to Babar. Babar trying to play that through the covers, gets an inside edge to mid wicket. And again, that ball isn't like 140 Ks or anything, but it just rushes off the pitch when you have a height of what 6'6" or something. So yes, or 6'7", whatever it is. But Cameron Green definitely getting the ball to do a bit of things that are definitely hurting Pakistan, or you know, trying to get into Babar Azam's head with the angle he's creating, with the bounce he's getting, with the pace he's getting off the pitch, which is something I wasn't expecting to see on day 5. Green to Babar Azam, outside off. Babar Azam plays it to point for a single. Yeah, so many direct hits from Australia, man. Like I've seen 2 already in the past 45 minutes. They've really been practicing on their on the direct hits for sure. Okay, thanks. No worries, no worries. Appreciate you joining. Brother says in 2001, my friend um, Ahmed played against Hashim Amla in a club match in Durban, who smashed him everywhere. Phoned me in shock and told me he discovered the next great South African batter. Dude, your friend Ahmed was right. Hashim Amla, one of the best batsmen South Africa has produced, at least in the last 30 years. At least in the last 30 years, right? Absolutely outstanding batsman. Outstanding, out of this world kind of batsman, right? And I'm so happy to say that I've met Hashim Amla. I think I've met him. If I haven't met him properly, I've just said hi to him. But yeah, really, really humble guy as well. Aleem Dar with the no ball sign, and thankfully Pakistan gets an extra run, so 220 for 2 in 91.4 overs. But yes, I agree with your friend Ahmed, a relevant brother. I'm glad he found him, and after that point, South Africa found him too, and that was great to watch. The way he batted, the way he changed his game when T20 became more prominent was great to watch. Became a lot more aggressive, and his composure, his humbleness changed into a bit of aggression with the bat and proactive and positive mindset. And it was great. It was great. He was elegant to see. He was one of those guys that you could watch for days. Him for me, him and Muhammad Yusuf are like cut from the same cloth in a way. Like I could watch them bat for hours and hours and hours and not get bored, right? And Hashim Amla definitely one of those batsmen. Cameron Green, last ball of the over to Abdullah Shafiq. Abdullah Shafiq defends it to point once again. And a single to Shafiq. Shafiq moves on to 79. Pakistan 221 for 2 at the end of 92 overs. 10 overs gone in the day, and Pakistan have scored 29 runs. So 2.9 as a run rate. The partnership moves on to 200. 200 not out, 427 deliveries. Great job by these two. Like I said, very impressed with the way both of them have batted together. The foresight and the compact nature of Abdullah Shafiq has been great to watch, because he's a very young guy, man. He's 20, right? And batting with Babar Azam, opening up for Pakistan at 20 and performing well. That's two things that you don't see as often anymore from a Pakistani standpoint. So it's great to watch, and I hope he does get his second Test 100, because he's played really well. He's played really well. Mitchell sweeps in with a short delivery, not too quick, and you could see how as soon as it landed on the pitch, how much pace was lost on that delivery, and Babar Azam just played it to the offside for a dot. Ganay Karima says Pakistan will win, bro. Azam over to. Well, I hope so. I really hope so. And aapke muh mein ghee shakkar, right? I definitely hope so. And I was wrong. Abdullah Shafiq's on strike, not Babar Azam. What am I talking about? That was Abdullah Shafiq. So yeah, I completely agree with you. If this happens, I would be so happy, so happy. I don't know about a win though. A win is still a fair ways off. But in terms of Babar Azam getting big runs, that would be great from a Pakistani standpoint for sure, and from the game standpoint. Like I says, I think Pakistan should attack Stark. He always crumbles in the last day. Fair point. I think Pakistan will look to attack him, especially when he comes back, when the ball potentially is going to reverse. When Stark comes back, that's when Pakistan will look to attack him. I still wouldn't attack Stark until he's bowled like a couple of overs. Then I might look to attack Stark. But it's the fact that if he does get reverse, you try and attack him. That's going to be very, very dangerous. Mohammad Hasnan in the chat, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, everyone who's joined us. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Really helps the channel. Let's say, for the sake of argument, let's say if we can hit 200 likes on this video, that would be absolutely amazing. So thank you, everyone who's joined us. Much appreciated. Babar has looked a bit loose today. I hope he finds his compact self now, because the ball will start to reverse soon. Exactly. I agree with you. I agree with you. Because he has been the rock that Abdullah Shafiq has been able to stand behind, because Babar has been scoring runs in the first on day 4. So yeah, definitely. Um, I agree with you. I can't agree with you more. Sweeps and lengths. Yeah, he's been a little all over the place so far, but that was all variable bounce. That ball stayed low, but well played by Abdullah Shafiq. Really well played, man. He defends it, but that ball stayed low. Relevant Brother says in the 80s, the all rounders played a single wicket competition to see who the best all rounder was. Clive Rice, both of them, Hadley, Marshall, Imran. Rice won twice and Imran once. I know that Imran once. I didn't know Rice won twice, though. Thanks for that. I didn't know Rice won twice. But Clive Rice is South African, isn't he? Correct me in the chat, please. But that's crazy. That's awesome. I'm going to take a screenshot. I'm going to talk to my dad about this. This is crazy. I didn't know there were that Imran Khan, someone else won except Imran Khan. So really appreciate that. Who was the fourth? Like, is that Marshall as in Malcolm Marshall? I probably wouldn't have called him an all rounder, but fair enough. But both did Couple Dev play by any chance? Because it's the 80s, I assumed Couple Dev would be in the standing as well. Did he play in that tournament or not? In the 80s, best all rounder played the single competition to see who best all rounder in the world was. Yeah, yeah, I got you. I got you. Don't worry. Don't worry, my friend. Appreciate you correcting yourself in terms of the grammar, but I get what you're saying, so no worries, no worries at all. But thank you for telling me that. I had no idea. Um, Lion is in the attack now. Babar Azam on strike. Pakistan 223 for 2. I gulped on purpose very loudly because I'm a little bit scared. Because we can see rough patches literally at 8 yards, 6 yards, 2 yards, and Lion is very good at hitting those rough patches. So Babar Azam has to be very, very careful, considering there might be an arm ball coming up somewhere, right? Or a top spinner, or one that he overspins. He undercuts or anything like that. Dude, Lathan Lion is an absolute beast with the ball, right? No doubt about that. Well defended, but Babar Azam knows exactly what Lion's doing, and Lion is gonna try and bamboozle the captain of Pakistan, and he has been able to do it. So you know there is logic behind that. Competed in the 80s single wicket competition. Rice, Botham, Hadley, Imran, and Marshall. All right, awesome. Thank you for sharing that, relevant brother. Much appreciated, brother. 223 for 2 still. Well defended the first 3 deliveries from Nathan Lyon to Babar Azam. Babar Azam on strike. 3 balls remaining of the 94th over. Lyon running in. And again, the funny thing is that didn't hit the rough. It was at a good length. It spun not too sharply, but it got a bit of bounce. Babar Azam was a bit taken aback, but he plays it just behind, square on the leg side for a dot ball. We have Tash Irfan. Our, he says our. Thanks, Tash Irfan. Much appreciated. uh, are you messing with me? Weldon Shafiq out. Gotch. Muhammad Asnan says AB de Villiers, Misbah, and Yunus Khan used to play Lions so well. I agree. All 3 of them did. Yep, 100%. Um, I I haven't seen that happen yet, Tash. I hope not. I really hope not. Relevant Brother says Rice is South African. He would have beaten Imran, but the Hong Kong fielders dropped 18 catches of Rice's bowling. Imran loved Rice. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Clive Rice. I only found out about him a couple of days ago. Maybe it was yourself who told me. But someone mentioned his name in the chat, and I was like, yeah, let me let me look him up. And yeah, brilliant all rounder. Unfortunately, yeah, because of certain situations around the world, couldn't play internationally for South Africa at all, right? If I'm not wrong, or if he did, he didn't play properly because of all the political stuff down in South Africa. So, but yeah, great player from what his stats at least tell me. And there's a lot of school kids who are, or young adults as they might look like, from both ends. And I like that they've just got like, okay, we need some crowd. Let's just get kids in. Let's just get some kids into the stands. I love it. Absolutely love it. They used to reverse sweep and sweep them. Right now, apart from Rizwan, I don't see any Pakistani batsman being so good with the sweep. But even Rizwan, he exposes his leg stump like crazy. Like Lion will get him out like that if Rizwan keeps doing that, right, on a regular basis. Same with Swepson. Once again, Swepson is going to give you one bad ball and over, and this bad ball has only been dispatched for a single because Australia have realized that Swepson's going to do that. So they've got a sweeper at the deep mid wicket boundary. So good captaincy from Pat Cummins there. Very good captaincy. Every time for sure. Um, I just want to mention something. Um, yeah, every time. So that's the thing. If you ask Mahela Jayawardene and you ask Kevin Peterson and you ask, there was one more batsman I can't remember. Um, they mentioned that Yunus Khan, they were talking to Yunus Khan once, and Yunus Khan said, this is how he sweeps. And they started to sweep a bit like that. And it was more at an angle, down angle, right? But as close to the ground as possible. And he was very good with the sweep shot, Yunus Khan, there was no doubt. And but his reverse sweep wasn't great. But Misbah's reverse sweep was much better from a Pakistani perspective. AB de Villiers outstanding though. But from a Pakistani perspective, Misbah and Yunus were very good sweepers of the ball compared with the batsman Pakistan has nowadays, right? Mitchell sweeps into Babar Azam. Babar Azam defends it back to the fielder for another dot. Relevant brother says, why do left arm spinners not worry right-handers as much as off spinners do left-handers? Um, I don't completely agree with the statement. I understand where you're getting probably that question from, but I've noticed that left arm off spinners don't usually have that much variety. They usually have a straighter one and the one that spins away. Off spinners, however, a lot of the time, the best off spinners around the world have a lot more variety in their off breaks. Oh, the drift that Swepson got on that delivery. Oh, the beautiful drift by Swepson. Brilliant. Oh, he's getting drift. This is crazy. This is a crazy, crazy game. So yeah, the reason is the variety or the skills that are being utilized when a left arm spinner bowls is completely different. Are a lot less than when a right arm off break bowler bowls. If they were the same, if they were bowling similarly, or they just had two variations, I think they would have been pretty much similar. But because of the fact that they have a bit more of a variation, uh, you have the ball that you've got an arm ball, you've got a normal off break, but a lot of the good off spinners around the world have a third one that is so he overs. I can't remember what the ball is called. Um, it's not overspin. It might be overspin, but or underspin. I can't remember the name right now, which is just baffling because I usually remember this. But Lion does it a lot, right? Where he gets an extra bounce but turn as well. And with Ashwin, you get the Karen ball. He doesn't have strictly speaking a dusra, but he can ball a sort of dusra as well. Uh, so yeah, variations. That's the big reason why I think. But I've seen right-handers struggle so much against left-arm spinners. Right? You can think of Babar Azam against Keshav Maharaj. Right? You can think of Kevin Peterson against not just Jadeja. You can think of Ringana Harat doing great things, especially to right-handers. Right? Over the course of his career. So I don't completely agree with that. However, I do understand where the question is coming from because it is a fact. There's nothing in the wicket. Yeah, there's nothing in the wicket. Oh, not out. Oh, thank God. All right. Okay. So Alim Dar is saying it's not out. Okay. I'm glad about that. Jazzy Akhtar says, can Babar make a double ton? Inshallah. I really hope so. I really, really hope so. Obviously, I can't guarantee anything, but what I'm hoping for is him getting a double ton. Yes. Pakistan should go for it. There's nothing in the pitch. Make history. Yeah, it bounced on the ground. If you're a Pakistan fan, relevant brother, it is very difficult to always be so positive. And I don't know how you're doing it. I don't know how you're doing it because I've tried all my life to stay positive and I get hurt almost every time. But yeah, it is what it is. Rom says, did you watch Lara's historic 153 not out against Australia in Barbados in 99? I probably did. Um, I watched a lot of cricket when I was younger. I watched a lot more than I do now, which is shocking, right? But yeah, I probably did. Don't remember much of it, but I do remember he scored a 150 against Australia in Barbados. Well defended by Abdullah Shafiq to cover. Rom says, Dusra, yep, Dusra Ganay says, bro, well done. Commentary. Pakistan will be winning from Sri Lanka. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being so positive and all the good vibes. So thank you so much, man. I really hope so. I really do hope so. And thank you for the nice comment there. Azhar Khan Vlog says Kamran Akmal played amazing in Mohali, India. Yeah, man, Kamran Akmal has had a career and a half. Like his resurgence in domestic cricket and PSL made a lot of people think that maybe he was the right guy to come back into the Pakistan side. But I'm glad he didn't. But he was in the last 20 years before uh, in the last 22 years, right, since Moin Khan and Rashid Latif were on the decline since they left, I think Kamran Akmal was the best keeper batsman. But the issue was his keeping wasn't as up to the mark as his batting was on a regular basis, which was quite annoying. But yes, he's had some fantastic innings, especially against, not against, sorry, especially for Pakistan. So Kamran Akmal, great player, definitely. Sayyid Noshad says, hi. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. Please like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you do like the content, really appreciate it very, very much. Anis Akram says, what do you think about Zaman Khan from Lahore Qalandars? Good bowler. Still a lot to do for him in terms of getting the experience to be able to play for Pakistan. But because of his Malinga slash Fidel Edwards kind of action, he will deceive the batsman quite a bit. He has a decent Yorker. He has a decent slower ball. He doesn't have supreme pace, but because of the angle he creates, because of the surprise uh, that he gives to the batsman, I think he can be an asset that Pakistan can utilize moving forward. But right now, I think he's too young, too inexperienced to be able to push him into the Pakistan scope. But for Lahore Qalandars, he should be a mainstay at least for the next couple of years because they finally have a bowler who uh, who is good enough to back up Haris and Shaheen. Rom says, "Did you watch Lara Historic?" Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. So I did watch it because, like I said, I used to watch a lot of cricket between '97 and 2001. But yeah, I don't remember it very well, but I have seen that, and I remember the 150 not out for sure. Assalamualaikum. Azhar Khan vlog says Shaheen requested to make a house for Zaman Khan. What an amazing gesture. Thank you, Shaheen. You have an amazing heart. God bless. Yep. That I didn't know about that, but yeah, that's pretty cool. That is a great gesture, especially considering Zaman Khan is this was his first year in uh, playing in the PSL. He's a young lad. He doesn't know. He doesn't have that much experience. So yeah, great gesture from Shaheen Afridi, especially his captain in Lahore Qalandars. So nice to see that. Really nice to see that. Pakistan 224 for two, by the way. And I just realized we're at drinks. I should have really mentioned that. Yeah, so we're at drinks. Um, Pakistan have scored 32 runs in the past hour. And I expected them to score 60 to 70 runs in the first session, and it seems like they are eyeing that 60 to 70 runs in the first session margin. Yep, amazing gesture from a small town in Azad Kashmir. Yeah, good, very good, very good. And that's the thing. That's the type of uh, uh, that's the kind of nice gestures. Those are the kind of nice gestures that really help build morale, especially within the team and within the Pakistani cricket fraternity in Pakistan. That's good, really good from Shaheen Afridi. There, yeah. So this is yeah okay. So the partnership between the two guys, 203 not out in terms of partnership, third wicket partnership, and Babar and Shafiq just need to keep going. Need to keep going. Play till lunch, right? Play till lunch, see where we're at, and then go from there for sure. Um, 1 hour pass. Yeah, 1 hour has passed. It's 11:34 in India. Ah, nice. Yeah, so an hour gone, an hour left until lunch. So, like I said, Pakistan, I expected them to score about 60 to 70 runs in the first session. They've scored 32 in the first hour, so they're looking about that type of um, score within the first session, and then they can reassess. If they're comfortable, then they could potentially go for the win, but I don't think they will be eyeing the win at this point. Mitchell sweeps into Babar Azam. Babar Azam defend. I keep saying yeah. Babar Azam defends it back to the bowler. The Abdullah Shafiq and Babar Azam do bat quite similarly, so I've been struggling on multiple occasions to think who is batting, but thankfully I was right this time. Mitchell sweeps into Babar Azam again. He's getting a bit of rip. He didn't drift that one, but that was a bit shorter as a delivery, but he did get a bit of turn away from the right hander. Monkey D. Luffy says, hey Asjad, this is history in the making. Monkey D. Luffy, thank you so much for joining. Please like the video. I know you've subscribed, so I'm not going to ask you to subscribe, but appreciate you joining me on the live stream, man. Yeah, history in the making of sorts. If Pakistan can draw the match, that would be great. Be super happy about that. If they can go for the win, that would be historical to the elitist level. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think a draw is more of a possibility. And if they keep playing like this, they are showing a lot of class. They're showing a lot of uh, mental toughness to be able to bat for this long and not get phased by the heat and not get phased by the situation and the pressure at hand. Um, Sweeps in, 2 balls remaining of the 97th over, sweeps into Babar Azam on off stump, spinning slightly away from him, and Babar Azam defends it back to the bowler again. But he didn't look very comfortable on that occasion against Swepson. Babar Azam still on strike. Mitchell Swepson, last ball of the over, about 10 inches outside off, and Babar Azam still goes to defend it. Didn't spin much, thankfully, so he defends it quite comfortably for another dot ball. 224 for 2 at the end of 97 overs. Um, there are 75 overs left in the day, and Pakistan, if you look at it statistically speaking, Pakistan needs 282 runs off the next 75 overs, which is approximately 3.7, 3.8 runs and over. I don't see Pakistan trying to go for that. If they do, that'll be cool. I don't think that they're going to go for that. Abdullah Shafiq on strike and Lion to continue from the other end. Lion to Abdullah Shafiq hits the rough, just almost hits the rough, and does spin sharply into Abdullah Shafiq. He defends it back to the bowler. Lion finding the rough. Yeah, exactly. So thank you. I was going to talk about that. So Lion is very accurate. So he's hitting one of the two roughs within the good length area, and then you've got a fuller rough as well, where when Abdullah Shafiq or Babar Azam, when they come onto the front foot properly, it's right in front of them. So the drift away from Nathan Lyon, excuse me, the drift away from Nathan Lyon and then spinning into the right hander, it's very good bowling, very good bowling. And good aggressive captaincy from Pat Cummins, still having a slip, still having a short leg there, because that delivery outside edge, inside edge, sorry, to the short leg fielder. Someone in the chat says, hello. I said, hello, someone. Thank you so much for joining. How are you? You didn't ask yet, but I'm asking you. How are you doing, someone? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, everyone who has joined us. Please do like the video if you do get a chance. Really appreciate that. Ganay says, my favorite is Afridi, good batsman and all round. Pakistan, Zindabad from Sri Lanka. All right. Appreciate that. Yeah, Shahid Afridi, character for sure. Not as consistent as I would have liked, personally, but he was very, very entertaining when he was playing. Um, but then in his latter stages of his career, he was just a bowler who could bat once in every 28 innings. So yeah, Lathan Lyon to Abdullah Shafiq, sharp turn, goes past short leg, and Abdullah Shafiq takes a quick single at the end of the 98th over. Pakistan moved to 225 for two. I think it should be 225 for two. Yeah, 225 for two. There we go. Just quick info was taking its time to update. Nathan Lyon and Swepson will bowl at least until, if not until lunch, then very close to lunch. And then they're going to see if Stark comes in and if Stark will get some reverse swing going, because that's when they will be at their most dangerous. I don't want that. Abdullah Shafiq is on 81, Babar Azam on 121. Someone says ball is not turning relatively slow from the rough, even though it is a hard ball. Sorry, what do you mean? Someone, I think I might have misread that. Ball is turning relatively slow from the rough. Oh yeah. Even though it's a hard ball, yeah, I agree. I agree. Completely agree with you there. Yeah. Let's Invest says, Azad, any bowler that you modeled your action on? Ooh. Okay, so my initial action, because I was a spinner, was based on Mushtaq Ahmed. But as I grew up, I became from a spinner to a medium pacer, if you want to call it that. It's a mixture of Brett Lee and Muhammad Sami. Initially, it was a bit more Wasim Akram, uh, but then it turned into it did. अब मुझे की कह रहे तुसी Wasim Akram को क्या हुआ? There's a question. I'm trying to answer the question. Oh, yeah. So these are the bowlers I tried to model my action with. Thank you. But in the end, it doesn't match any of them. It's just an amalgamation of all three of them. Um, but the idea was to try and um, not just go for pace, but try and be as uh, accurate in terms of line. So with that, it was a lot easier to model it after someone like Brett Lee or Wasim Akram initially, but then Mohammad Sami just seemed the easiest action, so I just went with that. So it's just like I said, it's an amalgamation of the three. Um, what about yourself? What about yourself? So this is, I'm good, thanks. I didn't ask because I can see it on your face. You are happy, giving how Bauer and Shafiq are back. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Not unlike yesterday. Yesterday I was very very scared, and the day before I was very sad. But yeah, appreciate that. Thank you very much. Rom says 1998 Australia also won one test out of three and won the series thanks to Stuart McGill. Stuart McGill and Mark Taylor's 330, wasn't it? Or 320, whatever it was. It was a big triple century he scored. But yeah, Stuart McGill took loads of wickets in that series, and it's unfortunate he didn't play as much Test cricket as maybe he could have. But he had great competition, didn't he? In Shane Warne. Pakistan 228 for two. Last ball of the 99th over coming up. Sasta YT says Pakistan's gonna win. I'm 100% sure. Inshallah. Good vibes. I appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. Bauer Azam comes down the track and defends Mitchell Swepson. That's too risky of a shot to just get a dot on, man. Come on, don't come down the track and just defend it. We're gonna make it, inshallah. Great words. I appreciate that. It is very difficult though. And I agree with someone there. It's very difficult to win this match, but a draw is possible. Win is very difficult. And if Babar Azam can do it, I hero man. Hero for sure. 334 not out. Thank you, Rom. Thank you very much. Imran Khan had changed his bowling action when he was studying at Oxford. Yep. What an amazing dedication, real passionate and hardworking. Yeah, he was, and I saw his earlier action. I hated his earlier action, and then when he changed it, he was a bit more side on afterwards. He was a lot more fun to watch, and he gained pace and became a much better bowler. Ram says similar to Bradman's score 334. Yeah, I agree. I agree for sure. Monkey Diluffy says, hope Pakistan pulls this off. I hope so too. 100%. If they can do this, this will be great. This will be historic if Pakistan wins the match. If they draw it, that's amazing as well. But if Pakistan can win this, then this would be great. Would love to see your IPL stream soon. I have been very busy last couple of months, but I keep an eye on cricket scoreboards all the time. No, I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Really appreciate that. IPL streams, I will be doing a few. I don't know if I'll be doing them as consistently due to being unavailable, but if I'm able to do them and I can watch those, then yeah, I'll definitely do a few. At least, no, I'm not gonna say at least half the streams, but I'm gonna aim to do at least half the streams. And Abdullah Shafiq trying to tackle the spin from Nathan Lyon, and that scared me because there's no leg slip, thankfully. But if there was, that was almost gone to hand. Uh, I got admitted to University of Arizona. I would like to meet Gabe sometime when I visit Las Vegas. Oh, congratulations! What are you studying at the University of Arizona? Congratulations. Good luck. Good luck in the future, man. But yeah, go for it. Whenever you're on Cricket for Americans, whenever the stream, just type in the chat and Gabe or Nick, you could definitely meet those guys. They're a really nice bunch of guys. So let's see where it goes. But yeah, appreciate that. Thanks for that. And congratulations again. Sasta YT says all Pakistanis are heroes for us. Love from Pakistan. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sasta YT. Uh, I'm glad you could join us. I'm glad you could join us to watch this match and watch my stream. So it's very kind of you to do that. And please do like the video if you do like the content, obviously. And do leave comments and chat comments and all that cool stuff. Really helps the channel. And I love engaging with them. So yeah, thank you so much. And Nathan Lyon to Abdullah Shafiq. Abdullah Shafiq defends it back to Zibola. Silver Owl says, hello, how is the pitch behaving? The pitch ain't doing much. Spin to win, to be honest. But at the same time, reverse swing will come into play, if not at the latter stages of this session or right after lunch. But there are rough patches where the ball is bouncing and turning a bit. Again, someone mentioned it's a bit slow. The turn isn't too sharp, but um, it is turning. It is turning, and it's not like Rawalpindi. Let's put it that way. It's not like Rawalpindi. It's not doing as much as you'd expect on a day 5 pitch, though, if I'm honest. I'm glad about that. uh, from a batting perspective, it does look like not like a complete road. It looks like a road with a couple of foot marks here and there. So Pakistan should be able to bat all day, but that's just thinking if they apply themselves the entire day. Um, Masters in data science, nice. That's really cool. That's really cool. Well, good luck, man. I think IOK is Indian occupied Kashmir. I've got a feeling, but I'm not 100% sure. You think Pakistan should make rank Turner for the third test match? It's not going to help Pakistan if they make a rank Turner. Pakistan, even if Pakistan plays spin better than Australia, and I don't think they do, but even if they did, they don't play spin amazingly that they're like, oh yeah, we'll be fine. And our spinners are so good that we're gonna get Australia out. So no, I wouldn't bank on that. Babar Azam plays a paddle sweep off of Mitchell Swepson's delivery on outside leg stump, and he just paddles it away for a 4. Good boundary there. 125 Babar Azam, 232 for Pakistan. Good shot from Babar. Appreciate that shot a lot. Yeah, thanks, Rom. Saru Day says hello. Hello, Saru Day. Thank you so much for joining. So Raul says, how do commentators know instantly that a delivery was a reverse swing rather than a conventional swing? Can they see which side is shiny from so far away? I'll tell you what. If the ball swings in Pakistan after the 10th over, it's not going to be genuine swing. That's why. So for that reason, if the ball swings, automatically the thought is, oh, the ball is reverse swinging, especially in these conditions. If it's England, then it's a bit difficult. They have to zoom in and see what's happening. But from my knowledge, the ball usually it's difficult for the ball to reverse swing and swing at the same time because you need the ball to be new to get genuine swing all the time. Well, genuine swing, and then you need the ball to be a bit old and one side roughed up and one side pretty damn shiny for it to reverse. So that's probably what I can think of in terms of their ideas. But also, they're probably looking at the ball, right? They probably have multiple cameras where they're like, "Oh, this is what the ball looks like right now," and to see the ball swing, they're like, "Oh, that's probably reverse." That's what I think. Kevin KK225 says, "Who will win this match? Your opinion? Opinion? Um, my opinion. I think it's going to be a draw, and that's my unbiased opinion, of course. No, I'm kidding. I think Pakistan should be able to draw the match. I don't know about anyone winning, and even if there's no team winning the match, even if it's a draw, I'm happy with. I'm personally happy with the result. So my like I don't know what the chat counter is saying at the moment because the poll is still up, and I'm going to leave it up until the end of the stream at the end of the first session. Uh, Short, wide from Mitchell Swepson, cut away from Abdullah Shafiq, but straight to the point, deep point fielder for a single. So yeah, I think if all goes well, it's a draw. Rom says, "You there? No ICC Test match final will be between you there." No ICC Test match final will be between India and Pakistan. I don't know. If it is, then I don't know what's going to happen. But if it is, that'll be cool. Great ratings, I guess. Unless it's in India, then it'll be like 2.5 days and then one of the teams loses. Relevant Brother says, love to see Gabe trying to bat in the nets against a bowling machine. I'd love to bowl to Gabe, man. He's going to come out with the baseball batting stance and then tonk me for six. Silver Owl says, is OAK going? Is Pakistan going for a win out of the question? It's not out of the question. It's almost out of the question, but I can't unequivocally say that it's completely out of the question. They'll reassess at lunch. I think that's what they're going to do, especially considering these two are settled quite well at the crease. If they have wickets left and Babar is set, wouldn't he start to attack in the last session? If Pakistan needs 120 runs in the last session, maybe. If Pakistan needs anything more than 120 runs in the last session, I don't think he's going to do that. He's no offense to Babar Azam, but Misbah ul Haq was the type of batsman who would do that for Pakistan, right? You would have Inzamam ul Haq who would do that. You could have um, what do you call it? You have Rishabh Pant for India who could do that. But Babar Azam, I don't think that is enough for that would be as easy for him to do, even if he's settled in. Because the rest of the batting lineup, right? They wouldn't be as good at potentially defending if Babar Azam gets out. You know, so it's not completely out of the question, but we have to be realistic here. More likely than not, a draw is what Pakistan is going for, unless and until there's terrible bowling from Australia and the wickets completely dry up and the runs are just free flowing all throughout the day. Relevant Brother says winning scenario is if Pakistan needs 150 in the final session with 7 wickets in hand. I would say Pakistan needs 120 in the final session with 8 wickets in hand. Well, yeah, with six or 7 wickets in hand, I think Pakistan could potentially go for the win in that instance. Yeah. Babar Azam. Oh my God. Why do you do this? Beautiful delivery from Nathan Lyon. And it hit just the edge of the rough, right? And spun sharply, drifted out, spun sharply into through the huge bat and pad gap for Babar Azam. He was trying to drive it through the covers, and I thought that actually hit the stumps. Thankfully, it didn't hit the stumps, but that spun quite a lot. That delivery spun like a foot. That was crazy. Rom says final will be in England of ICC Test Match Championship. ICC has decided. Oh, nice. I'm glad about that. I think Babar Azam was just dropped. I have a feeling Babar Azam was just dropped. Uh, Goodness. What was that? Uh, oh, okay, no, he wasn't dropped. It just bounced in front of Manis. But yeah, if it's in England, I'll be happy. And I think it makes sense. Babar Azam comes down the track and the ball doesn't spin much and defends it back to the bowler. Babar Azam, relax, bro. Relax. It's a test match. Take your time. No worries. No worries at all. Our nearly got jinxed with our talks of Pakistan going for a win. Exactly. That's why I'm not even thinking about it. Everyone keeps talking about it. But yeah, the draw seems most likely for like in terms of Pakistan's plans. Okay, that's probably what they're going for. Like 8 times out of 10, that's what they're going for. Thank you everyone for liking the video, for sharing the video, and all that good stuff. Really appreciate that. Um, there are right now there are 400 votes, and the most votes are for Pakistan winning and creating history. Oh, I love the optimism. I absolutely love the optimism. I'm not thinking that at all, but I appreciate it very, very much, guys. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you to do, to be optimistic about Pakistan potentially winning this match. So thank you guys. I'll leave it on until the end of the first session, and then I'm gonna check the final results. But 44% of you guys have said, "Yeah, Babar Azam, dude, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Why are you taking run? Why are you randomly going? Why? Why take the risk? It's a test match." Mitchell sweeps into Abdullah Shafiq. Dolcevic comes down the track, plays it through the covers. Very well played. And that goes to the boundary. Well played by Abdullah Shafiq, playing with the spin, okay? Not against the spin, but the ball turned just a little bit. Abdullah Shafiq saw that, came down the track. A beautiful cover drive for four. And he moves into onto 80. He moves into the 90s. There we go. Moves into the 90s. 91 of 288. Rom says it is not easy to play test matches and bat whole 2 days or trying like Luxman and Dravid. Yep, that's exactly what he's trying to do, and probably what Abdullah Shafiq is also trying to do with Babar Azam. They're trying to survive, but at the same time they're thinking, oh, we should also get runs and all that good stuff. Just bat, just bat time, guys. Just bat time. Don't need to worry about it. Just bat time. Abdullah Shafiq on 91. Mitchell Swepson to continue. That was a bit shorter, but every time the spinners have bowled short, it just hasn't bounced much. If you hit the rough, then it obviously bounces, but it's not bouncing much at all. Monkey D. Luffy says they should secure a draw first and then go for the win, but 150 in the last session with 7 or 8 wickets in hand looks possible on this road. Fair enough. I would say, again, like I said, I'm a bit too pessimistic whenever it comes to Pakistan trying to chase. I remember when it was India at the Gabba, right? I remember I said if Rishabh Pant um, was at the crease, then India will go for the win when they need like 200 or something at the to win the match, or 220 or something. And I can't be as confident with Pakistan, so it is what it is. Again, not much bounce on that delivery from Mitchell Swepson. It was just outside the line of off stump, and it pitched and basically just stayed at that level. Uh, but thankfully, good keeping from Alex Carey. Alex Carey's kept much better than Mohammad Rizwan, which is shocking to hear, right? But Mohammad Rizwan has seemed to struggle uh, on this pitch, and even in this series, not just with the bat but also in with the gloves. Ram says, I think ODI series between Pakistan and Australia will be more entertaining on these flat wickets. Yeah, the ODI series, personally, don't really mind it too much. I think the ODI series is probably going to be Australia all the way. Um, if not, maybe Pakistan wins the match. But yeah, Australia is probably winning the ODI series. But the Test series, I expected Pakistan to win this one. Well, I expected Pakistan and Australia to draw 1-1, but the way Pakistan decided to bat in the first test and the type of pitch they created, I was like, oh, maybe they think they can win the series. So yeah, the between overs, Cummins, Labuschagne, and Warner just planning. Okay, we're going to try and reverse the ball from here. Line to Babar Azam. Babar Azam defends it to short mid off. Silly mid off. Short mid off. Silly mid off. The thing is, Babar, it does feel like Babar is under pressure. The way Lyon's bowling. Yeah, Babar defends it again. 239 for 2. Babar Azam 126 for off 260. Lyon with the third ball off the over. Into the rough. Spun sharply. Bounced as well. But Babar Azam once again plays it straight to the fielder. Feel bad for him. He's looking to get runs. He is looking to get runs. Saturday says Pakistan has more chances to win ODI because most of the Australian main players are going to play in the IPL. Are they going to play the IPL? Are you sure? I do let me know because I've heard that they're going to try and stay and play the entire series. So it's two different things I've heard. But if they are going to go to the IPL, then yeah, obviously then Pakistan has a much better chance in the ODI series. Ram says, who do you think was more lethal in the late 90s, Jayasuriya or Afridi? The late 90s, I would say Jayasuriya because of his consistent hitting. He was a lot more consistent than Shahid Afridi and I'm assuming you're talking about ODIs, right? Um, Afridi had a lot of sixes. Afridi batted all over the place. Yes, he opened as well. Um, but in the late 90s, he was opening, you're right, or he was batting higher up, but he wasn't in the side as a permanent player. Jayasuriya obviously was because he was the main opener that Sri Lanka employed. Um, so yeah, I would say Sana Jayasuriya from, if my memory serves correctly. Yes, Jayasuriya Afridi. Jayasuriya, no? Huh, pretty good. No, not as a bowler. Come on, Afridi was a better bowler than Jayasuriya. अब जी विकेट्स वगैरह को छोड़ें, आप सही बात करें, अफरीदी की विकेट्स देखें यार, 398 एंड में जाके. Imagine. Jayasuriya was Amir Sohail bowling. Just probably a little better though. But Jayasuriya wasn't a consistent bowler, nah? He was more of an opener who could bowl a bit. Oh, for everyone who is new to the channel, that was my dad I was speaking to. So at 239 for 2, 104 overs gone. Mitchell Swepson to continue. Does look that way. Yeah, Mitchell Swepson to continue. Abdullah Shafiq on strike. Swepson to Abdullah Shafiq on his pads. He plays it through mid wicket for a single. Monkey D. Lovey says, I gotta go. Have a great day, Asjad, and everyone. Good luck to Pakistan. Thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for joining as well. And good luck for the MSc in Arizona, man. Well done. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Rom says, no till 6th April, no Australia player will play in the IPL. Are arrested, and Warner said he will attend Shane Warne funeral on 30th March, the state funeral. Oh, well played by Babar Azam through long on, but well fielded by Mitchell Stark. So 2 runs off that delivery. Mitchell Swepson is bowling a bit too leg side, in my opinion. But Babar Azam, again, he came down the track, made it into a full toss, and got 2 runs, which was good, which is nice to see. So yeah, thanks, Rom. That's what I was thinking, but I appreciate you kind of really explaining that point. A bit quicker from Mitchell Swepson there, a little quicker delivery, and it was a bit fuller as well. Uh, so Babar Azam couldn't come down the track even if he wanted to, because that was a lot quicker. That was like 92, 93 kilometers per hour. Swepson to Babar Azam, flies the ball once again. They take out, Silimidov because he's what do you call it? Silimidov's been very useful for him. Nathan Lyon, but Australia is probably thinking, yeah, Barazan's probably not going to hit it to Silimidov when it's the leggy being employed. But with Lyon, the pressure that fielder is putting on him, it's completely different. Completely different. Mitchell Swepson to Babar Azam. Short delivery, didn't bounce much, but Babar Azam plays it easily through mid wicket for another single. He was on to 129 off 268. And Abdullah Shafiq is on 92 and on strike. Pakistan 243 for 2 at the moment. Mitchell Swepson to Abdullah Shafiq. It's short, it's wide, cut away straight to the fielder though. Finding the field is very, very often the Pakistani batsman, but it's all good. That's not the big issue. The big issue is losing wickets, right? Even if you're not getting runs, that's fine. Just take your time. They've scored what, 50, 51 runs in the past hour and a half. So I think they're going down the route that I expected them to. So good to see that. So we've got 24 minutes left. So I'm assuming around about 6 to 8 overs remaining. If the spinners keep bowling, maybe if the paces come on, maybe 5 to 7 overs. But yeah, Pakistan needs 263 runs to win. Of how many overs are gone? Of 70 overs, 67 overs, I think. Yeah, 67 overs. So that's over 4 and over now, I think. Oh well, that's closer to 4 and over than 3 and over. Let's put it that way. Lion to continue as expected, and Babar Azam on strike. Oh, Babar Azam edges that, and Smith stops that, edges it. Smith is at slip, by the way. And yesterday he dropped Babar Azam, I think, a couple of times. This time he dives to his right, but the ball bounces in front of him. He saves a definite boundary, I think, because if it went past him, I don't think there is a third man. Their point, deep point. Oh, Babar Azam. Yeah. Babar Azam was definitely finding it difficult against Nathan Lyon, especially considering the huge rough patches that are available for Lyon right now. Lyon to Babar Azam. Babar Azam plays it to the leg side and to the fielder for another dot. Babar Azam, obviously his scoring rate is going to slow down because of the smart bowling from Lions, and he's not bowling very slowly either. He's bowling around 56 miles an hour, 90 kilometers an hour. So he's rushing Babar Azam a lot more than he usually might under these circumstances. If he's trying to get the ball to pitch and turn sharply, he would probably flight the ball a lot more. But here he is flighting some deliveries, getting that drift, but also darting some in to keep Babar Azam on his toes. 243 for 2. Once again, Babar Azam defends it straight to Travis Head at Silimidov. National Stadium Karachi doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good as a stadium. Looks a bit like Dubai, but a lot smaller. Nathan Lyon to Babar Azam. Again, Babar Azam defends it. Smith stops it. Another dot ball. And 106 overs gone. Lyon being aggressive, walking up to Babar Azam, just staring at him, and Babar Azam not giving him the light of day. But good bowling from Nathan Lyon. Very, very impressive bowling from Nathan Lyon. He's bowled what, like 29 overs now at an economy of 1.79. He's only gone for 52 runs, while Swepson has gone for 88 in his 36 overs. So, yeah, definitely Nathan Lyon has been the the guy who's looked the most dangerous so far. And as expected, Australia bring back a quick bowler, a pacer, and Cummins brings himself on to see if the ball is going to reverse or do some other things. Maybe if the ball is going to have some variable bounce, potentially get Babar Azam or Abdullah Shafiq LBW, maybe even bowled, if they're bowling line and length. So yeah, we'll have to see how this plan goes. But Warner and Cummins and Labuschagne were discussing this couple of overs ago that the ball might start to reverse now. Let's see what happens. Babar Azam 200. Abid Jan, I hope so, man. I really hope so. But he is looking like he is not struggling, but he is finding it a bit difficult against the spin for sure. Hope he finds a lot easier against the pace for both of these guys, Abdullah Shafiq and for Babar Azam. Pat Cummins, 107th over, first ball of the 107th over, and he bowls it down the leg side. Abdullah Shafiq thankfully doesn't get a tickle on it, and it is a dot ball. 243 for two. And something I've actually noticed is that this partnership is huge. It's 223 runs, this partnership. And if they keep going, they might just break records within Pakistan against Australia as well for the third wicket. So let's be optimistic in that sense. Uh, yeah, there's not much swing on offer so far. The ball did pitch and move in slightly. That's probably just the pitch doing stuff rather than anything else. And Abdullah Shafiq defends it quite well to the cover fielder. I think the temperature is like 37, 36 degrees Celsius or something. Kal 40 tha na? It was 40 yesterday or the day before. It was 39, 40 degrees. That's what everyone was saying. Check kar le. Pat Cummins again wide outside off, and Abdullah Shafiq plays it through the covers straight to the fielder once again. Karachi weather 31, 29. कल का देखे ना, कल सारे लोग यही कह रहे थे, it was 39 yesterday. नहीं, ये तो आज है ना. It says 31. 34 tomorrow, 34 again, 34 again. अच्छा, नहीं, but it was 39 according to everyone yesterday and the day before when Australia got Pakistan all out for 148. हाँ, तो लोग यही कह रहे हैं ना कि it's very very hot and humid in Karachi, but it was 39 degrees, not 33 या 30 जो अभी है 31. So that's why everyone was surprised कि Australia is doing Australia were able to bowl out Pakistan, and Pakistan was struggling in the field for 2 days, etc., etc., etc. All that good stuff. All that good stuff. 243 for two. Pat Cummins to Abdullah Shafiq. Once again, he plays it to the mid-off fielder. Another dot ball. And my initial expectation of Pakistan getting between 60 and 70 runs might just come true, because so far they've scored 51 runs and we've still got around at least 3 to 4 overs remaining, I would say, because we've got about 17 minutes before lunch. Haider Ali says, nice. Thank you very much. Thank you, Haider Ali. Much appreciated. If you like the content, please like the video. Please subscribe. If you don't like the content, then at least just dislike the video, and that still does help the channel. So thank you so much. Cummins short, just a little wide to Abdullah Shafiq, and he plays it through backward point for a beautiful boundary. That's 4 runs to Abdullah Shafiq. He moves on to 96 of 300 deliveries. That's a striker of 32, which again doesn't really matter because it's a test match. He's batting really, really well. That was the little room that he needed, and he played it through backward point, actually through third man, to be honest. And that's gone for four. He needs 4 more runs to get his second test 100. So good call, good batting by Abdullah Shafiq there. Azhar Khan vlog says Abdullah Shafiq played almost 300 balls. Yep, 30 points. Yep, exactly. Yep. He's batting well. He's batting really well. And that's the thing. Even if he's batting this slow, it's all good. He can take his time. And if Pakistan decides, let's say after lunch, and they're like, yeah, we're going for a draw, then he could take even longer. And that will tell you that he has that temperament as an opener, as a batsman for Pakistan, um, moving forward. Babar Azam on strike to Nathan Lyon once again. Babar Azam plays Lyon off the back foot, defends it to Salim it off. Yeah, in the next 15 minutes, I think we should get about 3 to 4 overs, considering Cummins is also bowling, you know? Mm. Nathan Lyon to Babar Azam. Babar Azam defends it back to the bowler. Was that 100? Well, I hope so. 4 more runs. If Abdullah Shafiq can get 100, he needs 4 more runs to get his second Test match century. That one from Nathan Lyon didn't spin much and it was a bit shorter. Babar Azam played it through mid wicket for a single. Babar Azam finally gets a run against Nathan Lyon after quite a while. Moves on to 130 of 277. And Abdullah Shafiq comes back on strike. I hope so. If he can get 100, that would be really nice. That would be really nice because he's batted very, very well for someone who's quite young and quite inexperienced in the international, not just international scale, but in general, in first class cricket against the Red Bull. He hasn't had that many games. He's played less than 10 first class games, if I'm not wrong. So it's great for him to show his skills and his temperament and all that good stuff against a team like Australia in Pakistan. Abdullah Shafiq on strike. Nathan Lyon to continue. Again, this time it hits the rough, spins, and Abdullah Shafiq defends it with a hard bat, but defends it straight into the ground. And thankfully, it didn't pop up or anything. But the fielders are very, very close in, especially the ones in front of the bat with short leg and sealing it off. So that pressure is definitely mounting, and you can see that is so close. They are so close. It's like they're playing one hand, one bounce, one tip out. It's very close, very close. 108 overs gone. Pakistan 248 for two. I think Cummins will continue, and then they'll get the ball a bit more scuffed up. And after the lunch break, they're going to see, all right, let's see what we can do. And then then Australia will bring back Stark and Green and see if the ball is doing reversing things, which would be really useful to them, which would genuinely be really, really useful to them. But thank you everyone who has joined us, by the way. Really appreciate it. Please like the video. Do subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're old to the channel, then just type a comment. Just let me know how you're doing. Lion to okay. They're just showing some highlights about Abdullah Shafiq attacking Nathan Lyon and getting out in the previous test, I believe. Cummins to Babar Azam. Babar Azam Australians are so good at potentially getting that run out. Stark did it before at the start of the day, and even now, Bauerhausen plays a straight drive to Pat Cummins, and he tries to flick it onto the stumps just in case Abdullah Shafiq might be out of the crease. What is this? Why? Why such foresight? Um, yeah, Australia needs 8 wickets to win. Those are facts that I want to run away from. But yeah, they are true facts. Pat Cummins to Babar Azam. Again, he's getting the ball to tail in a little bit, so maybe there is some sort of reverse swing starting to come into play. It's been 25 over. It's been what 28 overs since this ball, since the new ball was taken. So they're able. Yeah. Oh, they're definitely getting some reverse. Look at the state of that ball. It's so shiny from one end, and every single fielder who gets the ball, he's shining the ball considerably. So yeah, reverse swing definitely coming into play. Pat Cummins to Babar Azam. Pad Cummins to Babar Azam. That's full. That's straight on the pads, but he plays it straight to long on, mid on. Sorry, for a dot again. Oh, this is so exciting. Can't believe. मुझे आवाज ऐसा करना, please. Thank you. For anyone who is interested, by the way, in Indian cricket and India versus Sri Lanka, the Test series that happened, do check out this link if you get a chance. Let me just find the link. But yeah, do check the link out because that video has just gone live. Oh, Babar Azam, it was wide, it was full. Babar Azam tries to play that through the covers, but gets a toe end off the bat, and the ball goes to third man for a single. Babar Azam 131. Pakistan moves on to 249, right? And just going to share the link of the new video that has just gone live on our channel. Please do check it out if you're interested in India versus Sri Lanka, the Test series that happened. It's a discussion between me and the cricket connoisseur, a very smart man. If we talk about cricket, especially over the past 15 years, so yeah, please do check out the video if you get a chance. If you're interested in the England in the India Sri Lanka series, Irrelevant Brother says the ball that holds its line will be dangerous. Exactly, that's what I'm worried about. Like we can see the balls tailing in, but when like Babar Azam's already been drawn into Stark when Stark wasn't even moving the ball that much. Okay, so when Stark balls after lunch, that's going to be dangerous. That is definitely going to be dangerous from a Pakistani perspective. Abdullah Shafiq on strike, 96 of 304 deliveries. Like I said, if you are interested in checking out India and Sri Lanka, do check out this link in the chat. And do check out the video. If you like the video, obviously do like the video. But if you don't like the video, then just let me know why you don't like the video and give us your thoughts in the comments. Really helps us learn more and having conversations in the comment section. Gaya, Abdullah Shafiq, man, I knew this was gonna happen. The one that holds its line, Relevant Brother, you were correct there. Oh my goodness. Abdullah Shafiq goes for a really well made 96 of 305, but that ball was wide outside off. He tried to go for the expansive cover drive and he gets the outside edge. He's played really well. Like no doubt about that. But Abdullah Shafiq has played very well, but he goes for 96 on the one that basically doesn't do much. And it goes straight to Steve Smith, and he's so happy that he didn't drop it this time. Pat Cummins picks up his first wicket of the innings, and Australia have picked up the third wicket in this innings. They need 7 wickets to win, and I'm so happy I'm going to stop streaming after this first session because I would be very much in a panicky situation right now. Uh, that's what I was talking about, sadly. Yes, Relevant Brother, that's exactly what you're talking about. And it is sad. But the funny thing is that we knew this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen because we saw the ball tail in a little bit, and that automatically changes the perception of the batsman that, oh, the ball's going to do a bit. Let me try and play that through the covers. But that one just held its line. Just seemed like this much, but pretty much held its line. And the outside edge went to first slip, which is Steve Smith, and Abdullah Shafiq. Unfortunately, cannot get his second Test 100. Made a really, really good 96. A really, really, really good 96. The temperament, the endurance, the time he spent at the crease. I don't know how many minutes he batted. I'm going to check how many minutes he batted. I don't know if they still keep that stat on Cricket Info. Let me check. But he batted like a very, very. Yeah, they haven't even been able to calculate the minutes yet. Okay. They'll do it shortly, I guess. Fawad Alim comes in. The guy who has played one ball this entire series so far, didn't get a chance to bat in Pindi, and then got out first ball with an absolute peach of a Yorker from Mitchell Stark, reverse swinging into him, right? And Pat Cummins is going to try something similar around the wicket. Stark, I knew they were going to bring in Stark. Oh man, last over, possibly the last over before lunch, and Abdullah Shafiq goes for a very well made 96. Babar Azam on strike. Stark back into the attack. The ball is reverse swinging. I want to go back to sleep. No, this is absolute carnage. Let's see. Still seven. Well, let's see how Babar Azam and Fawad Alam tackle the reverse swinging ball, because after lunch they'll have a full 30 overs. Around the wicket, Mitchell frickin' Stark. It's a full length delivery to Babar Azam. Plays it through to deep mid wicket for a single, and Fawad Alam wants to get on strike to Mitchell Stark. He's like, yeah, can I get a break from Mitchell Stark? Yeah, that was wide outside off. And the first ball that he faced swung into him, and he's like, okay, that means the ball's going to swing. And he just like, don't, Babar Azam, like, I know he's upset, but the thing is, Australia set him up. Australia set the Pakistani batsman up. Like, they've been trying to set him up for ages, but the ball was reversing now. And all the Pakistani batsmen are like, oh, damn, we have to go out and bat now when the ball starts to reverse. That's no good. We're not happy about this situation. But yeah, this is the final over. Hopefully, the final over before lunch. If all goes to plan, and no more wickets fall. That's just Abdullah Shafiq's innings is was very impressive. Fawad Alam on strike to Mitchell Stark. Mitchell Stark, back of a length delivery, and Fawad Alam gets his first runs of the series. Woo! Well done. The Karachi man himself gets his first runs of the series with the second ball that he's faced. Jolly good show, old chap. But yeah, let's hope Fawad Alam can try and stamp his authority of sorts on this innings by just hanging in there for a very, 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 very long time. And same with Babar Azam. Shayar, I agree with you. I agree with this emotion. That's how I felt for quite a considerable moment as well. Uh, Iflah TV K Khan asks, उर्दू नहीं आती है आपको भाई? नहीं, उर्दू आती है, मैं बस इंग्लिश में कमेंट्री करता हूँ. That's about it. Fawad Alam dives and gives Babar Azam a single, but let's hope nothing happens to him. That was a quick single. Yeah, I don't think he, he thought that was an easy single. Maybe because he would have been gone. He would have been run out if that hit the stumps. Thankfully, this time around, the Aussies missed the stumps because they've hit the stumps on multiple occasions. I really don't know what this says, but thanks for commenting, I guess. So yeah, last last 2 minutes, hopefully, of this particular session. Pakistan are 252 for three. I even forgot about the fact that Pakistan reached their 250. But yeah, unfortunate to see Abdullah Shafiq go for 96. Let's hope Fawad Alam can just hang out there with Babar Azam for a very, very, very long time. Mitchell Stark to Fawad Alam. It's a bit wide outside off, but still it's swinging into him, and he defends it to cover for a dot. Last two deliveries of the over coming up next, and it seems as though this will be the last over before lunch. And I think Australia is happy with that. Australia's seen that the ball's reversing, and Pat Cummins has gotten Abdullah Shafiq, the big guy who was defending like crazy with Babar Azam. So unfortunate. Stark to Fawad Alam. This time it's full. It's swinging into Fawad Alam, and he plays it through mid wicket very well. And that's 2 runs to Fawad Alam. He moves on to 3 of 3, but yeah. Fawad Alam plays it quite well through mid wicket, and that wasn't very full. That was full, but it wasn't like Yorker length, so he could get behind that ball and easily play it through the mid wicket area. Last ball of the over coming up. Last ball of the session as well, because it is 7 o'clock. So 12 o'clock in Pakistan. The last ball of the session coming up. Fawad Alam on strike. Mitchell Stark running in, steaming in. Mitchell Stark. And that's a Yorker. That's a beautiful Yorker, but outside off stump. Fawad Alam defends it, and it's 254 for 3 at the end of 110 overs. First session of day 5 has been completed. Pakistan have scored 62 runs, and unfortunately, for the loss of 1 wicket and the 1 wicket of Abdullah Shafiq, who was 4 runs off his second Test 100, 96 of 306 deliveries, I believe. And just for confirmation, he batted. Let me just refresh, see how many, if they tell you how many minutes he's batted. Still, Cricket Info still can't tell you how many minutes he batted. He played 305 deliveries. He batted a lot of minutes. Okay, batted hours. Batted basically 2 days, a day and a half. Sorry. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Pakistan have had. If Abdullah Sheikh didn't lose his wicket, I think this would have been completely Pakistan session. But from the looks of it, it looks like Australia does look a lot more comfortable at the end of this particular session. As I said, I'll be ending the poll at the end of the session. And Babar Azam is 133 off 283. Fawad Alam is 3 of 4. Pakistan 254 for 3 at the end of 110 overs. The poll says, according to the people watching, the poll says Pakistan can create history is 45%. Pakistan saves the test is 27%, and Australia wins 26%. I think it's the exact opposite, but this is what you guys say. So appreciate that. Thank you so much, everyone who's voted. Thank you, Relevant Brother, as well. Thanks, Sajad. We will draw it. Don't worry. I hope so. I really hope so, inshallah. Thank you. Thank you for the support. And thank you, everyone who's joined us. Please, if this was your first time, do like the video and subscribe to the channel. And for everyone watching, have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Take care. And Abdullah Shafiq went, and I'm really sorry that he had to get out. But yeah, great day from, well, great 5 minute last 10 minutes from Australia's perspective. The ball's reversing. They took Abdullah Shafiq out, and they should be all right. So yeah, they will be confident. It looks like they'll be confident. Saturday says, will you stream again after lunch? No, I won't be streaming after lunch. More likely than not, if the match goes to the end of the day, I might do an end of day review live, but I'm not sure yet. But yeah, that's the plan at least. But thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. Do like and subscribe. And until next time, stay safe. Take care. I'll catch you in the next video, which will probably be at the end of the day, or it will probably be the start of the third test. Thank you, everyone. And until next time, take care. Bye.